Our next comedian is my best friend and your headliner tonight. Keep it going for Erich Laux.
Thank you. Oh, it's great to be home in Ann Arbor. I spend all of my time on the road. Like last year I was over in Germany, and the Germans are really mad at Americans after the Trump elections, as if they've never picked a terrible leader before. And I think they're allowed to be mad at us for some reasons, but they're always picking the weirdest ones. For example, one guy got mad at me because I used Fahrenheit instead of Celsius. And I tried to explain, like, Fahrenheit is much better at describing the livable range outside. And he says to me, "What do you mean, livable range?" Which I think translates to, "Hey, like, what do you mean, livable range?" So I say to him, "Well, if it's below 0 or over 100 degrees Fahrenheit outside, old people just start dying. That's the livable range. If your grandma Rose and your great aunt Lily go on their daily walk, they're coming back wilted." He didn't like my explanation. He says Celsius is more scientific. It's based on water. He says 0 Celsius it freezes, 100 Celsius water boils, and he asked me, "What is 0 and 100 for Fahrenheit?" I didn't know, so I lied to him like a good American. I say from 0 to 100 is what percentage naked I want to be when I go outside. Because if it's 99 degrees Fahrenheit outside, I'm going to leave the house 1% covered. Sorry to make you all picture that. But it's your imagination, so you can choose whatever 1% you prefer. I did that joke at a club this weekend, and there's a mean lady in the second row, and she was like, "Your face." So thanks for not being her. But I travel all the time. I was at the airport the other day, and we were waiting around the gate. There's some sort of delay. There's a little old lady standing next to me, and she turns to me and she says, "Sometimes before I fly, I get anxiety." And I wanted to relate to her, so I was like, "Well, sometimes before I fly, I get drunk." Because I was then. So they come on the loudspeaker, they say, "We're sorry for the delay. We need to do some maintenance on the aircraft." That's a good way to get everyone's attention. He says, "One of the lights is cracked. We don't want it to break, fly off, and land in the engine mid-flight." And we all agreed with that. He says they're going to fix it with this stuff they call aviation tape. And he says not to worry because it's waterproof and fiber-based. And I'm drunk in the back of the crowd like, "It sounds a lot like duct tape." And I think I managed to give the little old lady next to me anxiety. But it wasn't my fault. I was drunk. Also a good way to notify Delta you've already been overserved. Last week I was in South Carolina, and whenever I'm in a new city, I try to find where the comedy is going on at. So I spend a lot of time in dive bars on weeknights, which is my favorite place to overhear conversations. Last week this guy finishes his 8th beer, looks at his empty wallet, then asks the bartender, "Do you guys accept food stamps?"
What the fuck?
I was not expecting that question. But what I was expecting even less was the bartender's response. Because she says, "Only on the lemons and limes." Who are these podunk people doing their citrus shopping at the local dive bar? And can I get a slice? I managed to acquire a girlfriend Some of you are looking at me funny, maybe because I talk about her like she's an item I picked up in World of Warcraft. We were walking down the street, and a group full of fraternity brothers drive by. One of them rolled down the window and yelled at us. He said, "Hey, you're not getting laid tonight." But what that frat bro didn't know is my girlfriend's a feminist, so there's one thing she likes to do. It's prove men wrong. So I just want to thank that douchebag for getting me laid. My girlfriend collects teddy bears, which is cool. But I recently learned she still has all of the teddy bears that were given to her by her ex-boyfriends. Yeah, that's what I thought. When I asked her about it, she said, well, when two people get divorced, they don't throw away the children. To which I responded, if I cook a terrible meal with someone, I'm not keeping the leftovers. Yeah, she didn't like that. So to make it up for her, I bought her a giant pink fuzzy teddy bear. The website advertised it as a human-sized teddy bear, but when it showed up, it was way bigger than me. So it was more of a bear-sized teddy bear. She liked it because she likes teddy bears. I liked it because it makes all of her ex-boyfriend's gifts just look small in comparison. I also like it because if we ever do break up, she's just stuck with a 6-foot burden. Every time she changes apartments, she has to buckle that thing into her passenger seat. And I won't be there to help her. So in her fictional scenario where this teddy bear is our child, I guess that makes me a deadbeat dad. Breakups are hard. There's no good way to break up with someone. The best way to break up with someone is with a carrier pigeon. Because maybe they're sad, but at least they get a new pet. My ex-girlfriend helped me write that joke while we were still together. Looking back, not a good sign for the relationship. I was out drinking at the bars with friends, and she sent me a text that said, "Hey, come over, we need to talk." And I think we can all agree the important part of that text message is the part that says, "We need to talk." But I was drunk and didn't make it past, "Hey, come over." So I show up and get broken up with. And they say being drunk improves certain experiences. It's like eating while you're drunk is better. Karaoke while you're drunk is better. Getting broken up with while you're drunk is better, but it does kill your buzz. So she already saw this coming. So she had packed all my things from her apartment into a box that was ready to go. So I grab my box of things and I stumble out into the cold. It's about 2 miles back to my house. I'm sure you guys have heard the term walk of shame before. Most people use it to describe showing up drunk, having sex, sleeping off the booze, and leaving victorious. I think we should redefine that to being a late night sobering 2-mile hike home while carrying the remnants of a broken relationship. It's okay. 1 mile into this 2-mile hike, I realized I could have called Uber from the beginning. Being single is hard though. Like, I gotta give it up for you guys. I don't know how you do it. When I was single, I bought a motorcycle to make myself more interesting. I'm not sure if it worked. But I was supposed to go on a first date with this girl. I wanted to surprise her by picking her up on the motorcycle. But on my motorcycle, you need to wear jeans so your legs don't get burned by the exhaust pipes. So without any thought whatsoever, I sent her a text message that said, "Hey, what are you wearing?" Which is the only time I've ever accidentally sexted a girl. Also the only time I've ever successfully sexted a girl. But I don't know, people are single, they use Tinder. I did it for a little bit. They used to have a part of Tinder called Tinder Social, where you and your single friends could form a group. And then you could swipe yes or no on other groups. If you all say yes, it creates a group text amongst all of the participants, and you can all see each other's profiles. So one night at the bars, we decided to make a group. Our group consisted of me, my friends Nate, Jose, and Olivia. We were swiping right on everybody. Eventually, we match up with a group of two guys. Named Alex and Alec. And I realized going forward in this story, it might be difficult to separate the two characters. So just keep in mind that Alex is the kind of guy who's shirtless in half his photos. Alec is the type of guy who's shirtless in all his photos. So Alex sends the first message, and he directed it straight to Olivia. He says, "Olivia, it looks like you're already set." And everyone in our group was straight, but Nate decided to fuck with him. He said, "I'm not though, you guys available?" To which Alex responded, "Figure out your own gay shit." And Alec decided this was the perfect time for a pickup line. So he says, "Olivia, it seems like we might have to come save you now." And Olivia said, "No, I'm gay too." Alec, being ever persistent, said, "Every bi girl loves this dick." To which I responded, "Every girl says bye when she sees your dick." Surprisingly, no response after that. I want to open up an Indian restaurant that also serves sandwiches. It'll be my New Delhi Deli. I have a Jewish friend who brews his own beer. He brews Hebrew brews. One more. I invented my own drink. It's Werner's plus gin. I call it a virgin. If you drink it without the gin, it's a virgin version. If you're at the bars drinking virgins while your friends are drinking virgins because you're the designated driver, you've made a virgin sacrifice. Some comedians divide their audiences by doing like dark material or dirty material. I just throw in 3 random puns in the middle and see who's still on board. My grandma died last year. Were you the one who who got the inheritance? Oh, man. So my grandma died last year. And I was at the funeral. And the pastor's giving the speech, and he says, I'll remember Mabel for her kind heart and beautiful piano playing. I thought it was really nice. He included that personal detail. Like, after the service, I go to my parents. I say, I didn't even know Grandma played the piano. My mom looks at me and says, that's because she didn't. Which means this pastor is just going around improvising eulogies. And nobody's calling him out on it. Like, we're all sitting there grieving. This dude's up there playing, whose funeral is it anyway?